That looks like it. If that's not it, then we'll have to figure it out later. Welcome back, everybody, to the Faculty Lounge podcast. I'm flying solo today. Enonomos is out of here. He has some outside business to take care of. How y'all doing, man? How was your weeks? Was it peaceful? Was it fun? I don't know. I know basketball is back. Basketball is back, and you know, they said that the purpose of sports was to keep everybody's minds off of politics, but it seems like more and more we don't have a choice in that. The NBA returned. They playing in the Dome in Orlando, and the Orlando Magic had a game. Hold on, let me look this up. Which you can guess by now, came with some controversy. So I'm pulling up the article right now. Matter of fact, while I'm looking for that, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, that's youtube.com/faculty lounge, soundcloud.com/faculty-lounge. Spotify, you can search Faculty Lounge, and our podcast should pop up in your search bar. Follow us on all social media at the Faculty Lounge. That's DA Faculty Lounge. All right. So I found what I was looking for, and this is courtesy of CBS Sports. What we're seeing is they're calling it a holdout. So the NBA has produced this entire rollout where players are coming out and using their platform to enact positive change. That's what they're calling it, right? Now, I'm all for change that's positive. I'm all for making a difference in the world. I'm all for speaking your mind. I'm all for the First Amendment. I'm for this thing that we call America. I'm for the rights that we have and love in this country. So, with that being said, even if I don't agree with what someone may be doing, if it falls within the lines of the Constitution, I'm all for it, man. There's nothing wrong with that. And I will fight and die for your right to be able to do so, because that's just how much I enjoy the rights that we have in this country. So, Orlando Magic forward Jonathan Isaac. So the Orlando Magic as a team, they wore Black Lives Matter t-shirts and knelt during the national anthem. So he chose not to. Jonathan Isaac opted out of that option to kneel with the team and wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. And he did a post-game interview with Taylor Rooks where she asked him, she said she noticed that he wasn't wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt and didn't kneel with the team, and asked him if he believes Black Lives Matter. Now, first of all, when I hear that, it automatically sets off some bells in my mind, right? Because you're asking a black man if he believes Black Lives Matter. Like, I kind of take that as a loaded question. It's like it's kind of like they found a way to put your blackness on trial now, right? Like, you're not black enough if you don't have Black Lives Matter tattooed on your forehead. So that kind of bothered me, how a question like that can be normalized. Like, if this was a different culture of people, I won't say who, but you would have all kinds of defamation leagues fighting for your rights to protest how you want to worship how you want to voice your opinions how you want to. And just because you don't protest the way everyone else does is no reason for you to be scrutinized for your views or opinions. Before I get into what Jonathan Isaac said, I just want to say that black people, we have prided ourselves and had to teach the world and the country of America that black people are not a monolith, right? We don't all subscribe to the same theories. We are not all the same people. We don't all look alike. We all don't eat the same dinner. Our bowel movements don't look the same, right? Black comes in every shape, size, shade, and color, but how come black can't come in every mentality, every mind state? You know, every discipline, every religion, every focus. It seems like now more than ever, black people are being huddled up into one group speech, and if you choose to opt out or find your own mode of protest or mode of opinion, or so to speak, or what have you, you become a black sheep to the family, so to speak. And in my experience living in the ghettos of the west side of Chicago, I can understand why one would have an opinion contrary to that of someone that is party to not the ideal, but the organization Black Lives Matter. And I think that's another problem that we get into, is the ideal versus the organization. And if we're talking about the ideal and you're saying, do you believe Black Lives Matter? Me as a black man, me as a father, me as someone that has black parents, I think it's a given that I believe Black Lives Matter. Like, who are you talking to? What are you really asking me? Because if you're asking me in the literal sense, do I believe Black Lives Matter? Yes, I do, on all fronts, because I am a black man. My family is black. I have black friends. I live in a black neighborhood, in a black community. Now, when we get into the loaded question and we start talking about organizational construct, I think we get into a whole different story. And someone like Jonathan Isaac, he has his reasons, and let's go ahead and get into it right now. So in the statement that he gave Taylor Rooks post game, he stated, I believe that Black Lives Matter. A lot went into my decision, and part of it is I thought that kneeling or wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirt does not go hand in hand with supporting black lives. So I felt like, just me personally, what is that I believe is taking on a stance that I do believe that Black Lives Matter, but I just don't feel like it was a decision that I had to make, and I don't feel like putting that shirt on and kneeling went hand in hand with supporting black lives. I believe that for myself, my life has been supported by the gospel, Jesus Christ, and everyone is made in the image of God, and that we all forged through God's glory. Each and every one of us do things that we shouldn't do and say things that we shouldn't say. We hate and dislike things we shouldn't hate and dislike. And sometimes it gets to the point where we point fingers. Whose evil is worse? And sometimes it comes down to whose evil is most visible. So I felt like I wanted to take a stand on, we all make mistakes, but I think that the gospel of Jesus Christ is that there's grace for all of us, and that Jesus came and died for our sins, and that if we all come together and understand to an understanding of that, and God wants to have a relationship with us, that we can get kept all of the things in our world that are messed up, jacked up. I think when you look around, racism isn't the only thing that plagues our society, that plagues our nation, that plagues our world. I think coming together on that message that we want to get past not only racism, but everything that plagues us as a society, I feel like the answer to that is gospel. Yeah, so that was the statement from Mr. Jonathan Isaac, forward for the Orlando Magic. Now, when I read statements like that, right, for me, it's like personal preference. What do you believe in? I can't tell you how to worship. I can't tell you how to be. I cannot tell you how to feel about your own race and culture. And to have the gall to try to do that to anyone of any other culture would be not only egregious, but borderline blasphemous. Like, you can't tell a Jewish person how to feel about atrocities persecuted against their people. Like, that's just a no-go. And what I'm seeing now, we're getting dangerously close to black people being lumped into a monolith. And you being a pariah and an outcast and you know, even accosted for having a different set of beliefs or believing the same thing for different reasons. I totally understand what Jonathan Isaac said. Why do I have to wear a t-shirt? Why do I have to kneel? I'm wearing this. This is what I'm wearing, right? I shouldn't have to answer to you about what I believe when I'm wearing this. Isn't that what we're fighting for anyway? So this can have the same right to privacy as everyone else. So this can have the same right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as everyone else. Why should Jonathan Isaac be subject to any scrutiny that no other American has to be scrutinized to? Because of a belief that's shared by a group of people. Now it has to encompass an entire race. You know, I just go back and think about how throughout time, you know, you have the herd mentality. And the herd mentality will put you in a position where you end up making decisions that would be costly to yourself because you're running with the herd. I remember myself back in high school, me and Enonomos, you know, we were individuals seeking out the gratification of having a mentality that the herd would approve of. That's the best way I could put it. I know that's what I was doing. It's like I wasn't really being myself. I was being different, you know. And I think about when I finally grew up and developed my own thoughts and my own opinions about the people that I was around, the world that I was living in. And it felt liberating to be outside of that box. And I think about the box that's being created for us now. And I think that's the one part of this whole thing that's truly disturbing to me is that the box is being made for us. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is not me and the people in my community, in my neighborhood, coming up with this not only ideal, but organization that is for the betterment of my people. If you asked me now, I couldn't tell you where the headquarters for Black Lives Matter is. You know, I can't tell you when the Black Lives Matter back to school drive is. I can't tell you when the Black Lives Matter town hall meeting is in my neighborhood or in my city at all. I cannot tell you these things. You know, I remember, you know, the things that I learned about the Black Panther Party, about the Crips, about the Vice Lords. You know, any gang that you can name started out with a mission of community management and uplift. And you can find the headquarters, you can find these members anytime, not at a point of controversy. You know, food programs, tutoring, job programs, Vote 2000, all of these initiatives that could be seen and felt in the community. You could touch it, you could see it, you could feel it. You know where to go to contact and talk to these people. And I just don't see that with this organizational structure. So to me, it feels like the emotions of my people have been weaponized, and now it's just a pile on. Me myself, you know, I'm a believer in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe in the freedom of speech. I believe in everything that our Constitution makes way for. And with that being said, you have a right to not give a damn. You have a right to sit in your house and twiddle your fingers. Doesn't matter who you are. I don't have to like that. You don't have to like that. But you shouldn't be able to put anything that I love or do in jeopardy because of that. You know, if we're talking about true freedom, that's what freedom is to me. The freedom to stand in my backyard, smothered in bacon grease, eating a ham sandwich, singing the I'm a Oscar Mayer Wiener song. Not that I would do any of those things, but if I so chose, I have the right to, because this is where I live. You know? But yeah, I just been thinking about the division in people that we've been seeing lately. And, you know, it's sad that pretty much I feel like what we're seeing is people divided based on circumstances that were manufactured for the disagreements to exist, right? So I have conversations with my brothers and sisters all the time. And, you know, they constantly put it in my mind that this is not that and that is not this and this doesn't have to do that. And I live down the street from quite a few funeral homes. I say 3 to 5. And every day on the way home from work, I pass 2 of those. And every single day, I'm seeing a funeral, right? Kids getting killed, adults getting killed, parents getting killed, grandparents getting killed, you know. To be a victim of violence just because of where you live, you know, I think that is the biggest burden on anyone. I mean, because even if you take the killing out of the category, you have to think about the level of worry, the level of distress, the level of PTSD that one would have living in such a chaotic environment and trying to raise children and sending your children out into that environment and not knowing if they're going to come back in one piece. And while I know the circumstances at hand and the reason why the protesting is going on, I think that the most urgent issue affecting the people living in the ghettos of America is you know, it's a people problem. I don't think it's a race problem. I think when you have a group of people that are in a place that don't have the mental nutrients, you know, to make the better decision, to be communicable with their fellow man, to empathize with each other. It's a large lack of empathy where I come from. Me and Enonomos talked about it. You know, I think it's because we don't got the mama no more and the big mama. It's all gone. And we just running on fumes right now. And it's only going to get worse because no matter how many wrongful deaths you stop, no matter how much reform you get, no matter what you do, you cannot fix a lack of empathy with legislation. Like, it just won't happen, man. I feel like we have to care for each other. I heard something about iHeart. I heard they were protesting WGCI because of the music that's played by the program director. I don't listen to much radio, but I remember when I stopped, you know, it was getting kind of crazy. Like, you know, music that is not conducive to any kind of positive process. And this is your drive in, your drive home, drop the kids off, pick the kids up, at home cleaning up. This is what you're hearing. And the radio can tout around this ideal, I mean, not this ideal, but the message of this political structure that we see now. And they touting around the message in the name of black, but where's the uplift, right? Like, it's almost it's an oxymoron. Like, you're yelling about what matters. You yelling at and then going in your own actions, and the message that you propagate is not reflective of, you know, the sentiment that you yell out in protest. And I think that's the biggest part of the problem. Because how can you expect change from the outside when there's always an excuse for change not occurring from within? And that's the biggest part of everything is, man, if you can't find a way to make that change on the inside, it doesn't matter how much the outside changes. You can paint your car red, yellow, green. You remember that show Pimp My Ride? An exhibit. They would have college kids. He was a pastry chef or a dog washer or something. So they hook up his Honda Civic with a little dog wash station in the back. But it still had that same old Honda Civic engine and Honda Civic trans and Honda Civic brakes. So it looked good on the outside, but that car has a limit on the inside. And I think that's kind of my point. It's like you can shine it up and make it look as good as you want it to look. But that don't change the fact that what's on the inside is still broken. You know? And when we figure out how to get unbroken, I think it's going to be a beautiful thing. But for now, I think that we have to put the perspective back on the people, you know, and get it off of the cameras. Yeah, because this way it'll always be hijacked by, you know, the owners of the corporation, because everyone that's paying money for you to see what they got going on the internets and the televisions, they're gonna put an agenda in, and you just can't help that. But I can ramble on about this all day. I give y'all one more. You know, make sure you follow me. I am at Chicago Fog across all social media. Check out Enonomos. That's Enonomos across all social media. WLC Clothing for all your pro black clothing needs. Check out _somebody breezy at _somebody breezy on social media as well for the illustrious, the great Breezy Love. Let's see. So I seen them talking about school coming back, and they're leaving it up to the parents to decide whether the children go back to school or not. I was thinking, what if all the parents said, yeah, send them back? All of them said, yeah, send my kid back today. I want them back in school. If that happened, I think we would see the mask of the illusion of choice come off. Like, man, they don't want kids to come back to school. You know, I think they believe that saying, oh, you decide whether the kids can come back, because there's a notion that, yes, the kids should stay out of school. But I think there are people that are living a lifestyle where, you know, they would rather send their children to school because they've been out and about anyway. Now, I understand that COVID-19 is very real, and I understand that people are cautious and taking precautions when, you know, performing daily activities. But I also think that how long can you hide? How long can we wait? Because I don't know. It seemed like as soon as they said the word vaccine, the vaccine was guaranteed. Like, I didn't know that diseases work that way, where just because you want a vaccine means you'll have one. Like, some diseases cannot be vaccinated. And I don't know how the decision, how the fact became that, you know, COVID-19 was a disease that could be easily vaccinated. I don't know how that happened. But anywho, I think about, you know, what happens when the vaccine is unsuccessful? Do we do this for another school year and another school year and another school year? At some point, people are going to have to get back to their lives, man. I hate seeing the kids at home since March. You know, I think about myself at that age, man, I'd be going stir crazy sitting in the house for that long. It's a little different for these kids, but you even starting to see the itch in them now. They ready to get out of the house. And I think about the parents that have to work and have these kids. If they do a staggered schedule, even then, how will the parents compensate for a lack of childcare? You know, their work schedule. It's I don't know. I think that there are no right answers right now, but there's definitely worse answers than better. And we're seeing a lot of that. Hopefully, one way or another, we'll figure out that we're gonna have to go outside at some point. I don't want anybody to die, you know, but I understand people gotta get sick. You know, this is how your body works. This is how your immune system works. We died for hundreds of thousands of years before we gained immunity and earned the right to live on this planet. That's just how it works, man. And now I think that life has become such a right rather than a privilege. And I don't mean that insensitively, but people are living longer than ever now. And I think that, you know, it's like, okay, just the possibility of somebody dying is enough to lock down everybody. And, you know, it's people that's choosing to live their lives. Like the mask thing, all right, I get it. You know, you wear the mask helps. Wear the mask. That's great. But if I want to go here, if I want to go there, if I want to go to the gym, I want to get in the sauna, whatever, I should be able to do that. You know? I just think that we're falling away from what made us happy people. Because I was thinking the other day, like, okay, I could go exercise, I can go ride my bike, I can go downtown and take a walk, but I don't want to do none of that. You know what I want to do? I want to go to a movie theater, eat some overpriced popcorn and big candy bar, all the things that aren't good for me, and watch a movie and enjoy with my family. That's what I'd like to do. But I can't do that. I would love to go to Great America on a Saturday and ride the roller coasters and drive home at 7, 8 at night after my feet hurt and we rode everything. But I can't do that, you know. It's just, it's sad times, and I think we all took a blow. And we need to get back right, man. Mentally, spiritually, I think we all took a hit. And the hits just keep on coming. And hopefully one day we'll look back on this day in Americana and we can find the silver lining in this otherwise dark cloud. Because don't get me wrong, man, it's still great to live here. It's still great to be out and about. It's great to be around family. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to see my family. I had to see my mother and father. I had to see my niece and nephews. I had to. We locked it down for real. But, you know, being without your family, being stuck in the house, all of those things, that'll kill you too. That'll kill you too. No, but what do you think? What are your thoughts, man? Should kids be going back to school? Should we be opening back up? Should things be getting back rolling? Everything looked like it was peaches. Now it's looking like they're going to try to shut it down again. And I, for one, am not prepared for that at all. I don't think this country is prepared for that. And, you know, at this point, if that's the case, I think things may see, you know, a downturn before we get back on track for something better. And I'm ready for the better, man. 2020 has been a heck of a year. I remember before this year came, you know, all the wonder and thoughts of what 2020 would be like, and we getting handed all of it. Yes, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me rant for this little moment. If you liked it, man, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, get into the comments, man. I always respond back. I'm always down for the conversation. Make sure you following at the Faculty Lounge across all social media, youtube.com/Faculty Lounge, soundcloud.com/Faculty-Lounge, Faculty Lounge on Spotify. The podcast should pop up in your search bar. Make sure you tell a friend, man. We could always use more subscribers. Yeah, really get into them comments, man. If you watched thus far, let's have a conversation. Let's get into it, man. I just want to wish y'all safe travels, peace and love to you and your family. Make sure you have a real conversation with some real people, man. Life's too short to be fake. Be real. Life's too short to be hard. Just chill. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll holler at you later. 100. Birdman.